never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love.
Congrats on the getting the Manel Kape fight. What's kind of your mindset going into it? I know you had a couple like different opponents that you were looking at. What's kind of your mindset going into the Kape fight, and how do you see it playing out?
I know. I think it's funny because I never called out Manel Kape, and Manel Kape called out like everybody but me in his last fight. He called out like the whole top three of the division or whatever, the top three guys, and just like never mentioned my name, which is funny that we ended up just getting put against each other. But my mind state in this fight's I'm here to prove a point, man. I just I want to make a statement in this fight. I want everybody to know that I feel like I'm being disrespected, and that's how I'm kind of answering. It's just like, you guys want to be disrespectful, then I'm gonna be disrespectful back, and everybody that you're gonna give a title shot to is gonna have an L to me.
Your resume, like you're clearly the top guy, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave the evidence in the post fight interview. You're like, yeah, I've beaten every one of the top five. So like with all that said, with the wins you've had, do you think obviously this is like a number one contenders fight, no question? Like, are you expecting the title afterwards? Title shot?
I feel like my last two fights have been in the number one contender fight. At least it's on paper. It is the number one contender fight, and that's what I've always been hearing. But at this point, it's like I don't really give a shit. Like if they're gonna give me the title shot, they're gonna give it to me. If they're not, they're not. And it's just like my job is to fucking make their life hell, and I've been doing a great job at it so far. And it's like, you guys could deny me for only so long, but it's like after I beat Manel Kape, then I have a win over the whole top six, top seven, or whatever that division is. So it's like, what are you guys gonna do? I'm gonna clear out the division from the back half before you guys can even give Pantoja anybody else.
Who's the biggest stylistic threat for you right now? Like, I know Manel Kape, he's got like a weird style, how he's so not conventional. Like when he's in the octagon. So
I think Manel Kape's probably one of the sickest fighters in the division. I think he does something so well, and he's definitely one of my favorites to watch. I mean, when he's on, he's also had some of the most boring fights in the division too, for being honest. But as far as like stylistically, the most dangerous one, I don't know, man. It's gonna have to be like a grappler. It's gonna have to be like a grappler that's willing to just play it safe the whole entire time. And I just don't see anybody in the top 10 of the division really being that,
yeah.
But besides Pantoja. So it's like, I feel like stylistically wise, I don't know, man. I don't know who's the worst one for me. I think I've already faced some of the worst ones, and that's like Bontrain, steroided out grappler, Tim Elliott, I think's the worst matchup on paper for me because he could just wrestle his ass off and he doesn't really get tired. And I thought that would have been the worst matchup for me. But other than that, it's like, I don't know. Pantoja is probably the worst matchup for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, on paper, I thought like Tyro would probably have been your toughest matchup just because, I mean, dude, on top, he seems like literally the toughest, like the best guy in the division on top.
Yeah. I think as far as back control, it's like I've had my back taken by millions of people at this point. Like I've like thousands of people at this point, and I've never felt as much pressure from a back control as I had from Tyra. That dude was very strong in that position. And keep in mind, I've grappled with him a lot of times, and it's like he's just never had my back until the fight. And once he got my back, I was like, "Whoo, this is different."
Based like looking at the rest of the division, I know you've pretty much gone against all of the top guys. So I mean, Pantoja, Moreno, Kai Kara France, Tyra now. You've really cleared out the top half of the division. Have you ever thought of, I know Pantoja's kind of thought about moving up just because he's had so many defenses. Have you ever thought of like moving up to 135?
Yeah, bro. I was actually thinking a little bit after this fight. If I don't get a title shot, I'm gonna move up a weight class because the flyweights don't get paid as much as the 35ers and the 45ers. I don't know why the reasoning behind that is. It's just one of those things. I know I could beat some of the top 15 in the 35 division, no problem. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like if I'm not getting a title shot and they're gonna put me as a gatekeeper, might as well get paid, you know.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
like, and new opportunities, new matchups. I'm kind of just getting some of the same guys. The top five of the division's kind of been holding it down forever. Kaikar France doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Brandon Moreno doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Pantoja's not really going anywhere. So it's just like then I'm forced to fight the same guys over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like it'd be cool to just fight some 35ers. It'd be cool not to cut a bunch of weight. It'll be cool for all that stuff. So in my opinion, it's just like if this isn't gonna if the title shot doesn't come to me, then it's like this is gonna turn into a money grab, and it's like all right, then I'm doing this more about money than legacy because or not more than like my dreams because at this point it's like if they're not letting my dreams be available to me, then it's like all right, well I'm gonna make as much money and do as much as I can with that money until then, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Is there like a name you have in mind, like just off the top of your head?
No, not specifically.
Just
No,
yeah.
it would be fun to fight some of these old flyweights though, like a Triple C or like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like Davison. I always thought that would be like fun matchup because like those are just guys I've been watching for years and trying to get matched up against anyways, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, like a figure eight up match, that'd be
Yeah.
fireworks the whole time, low key, if you guys are just like throwing the whole time.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, kind of back to the Cape fight. This is gonna be your fourth straight 5 rounder, I think.
Yep.
Just kind of take me through how do you go about like what's different in a training camp training for like 25 minutes as opposed to just 15, like the 3 rounder.
I hit cardio pretty hard no matter what. I always do 5 rounds during my sparring, like 5 rounds consecutively. So for me, it's like really anything too crazy. Like nothing's too crazy or too different for me. It's just I don't know. I feel like just tactically is how I go about it. Is like how tactically do I want to fight Manel Kape the first 2 rounds compared to the last 3 rounds, you know? And it's like that's kind of like where it goes is now it's like okay now it's not just okay we're gonna go out there and fight now it's like I could put tactics in I can make reads I can do all that stuff and Manel Kape's a dude that makes really good reads in fights too so it's like now it's like okay the first couple rounds is like I could do this now I got to switch it up and make sure that he's not kidding my timing down not catching anything like that so it's like when you're going against the highest level of fighters you're gonna have to switch up tactics in the middle of a fight compared to like what you normally do and I think the best fighters in the world is what are the ones that are able to do that mid fight, you know, to do it on the fly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know. That's honestly that might be the reason why I'm the most pumped to watch it, just because I feel like both of you guys, like for the most part, you get better as the fight goes on. So I
Yeah,
feel like a 5 rounder is just banger. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, do you see it as like an advantage? I don't think he's gone into a fourth round in the UFC. Um,
Um,
do you
yeah,
see it as an advantage, like having gone through the past
I,
fights?
I think I have the best cardio in the UFC. I think I'm one of the two top best cardios in the UFC. I'll put Merab Dishvili in front of me, but besides Merab, I think I have the best cardio in the UFC. Um, and I don't think if the fight goes longer, I think it just will always benefit me, in my opinion. So I live in Colorado, where it's just like I live in elevation, I live in altitude, and it's like I've in altitude and in the Colorado, like with Colorado fighters and stuff, it's like I'm known for having cardio. So it's just one of those things that it's like I've already been known for that, and then it's like you go put me in sea level against some of these fighters, I'm like shit's nothing to me.
I know you obviously I'm assuming you saw his win against Bruno Silva in Tampa. Um, is there anything like in particular from the fight that you're kind of like focusing on heavy for this one?
Nothing specific, nothing that I could just specifically take away. I mean, he does a lot of the same stuff for the same fights, so it's like it's cool. I just think Bruno Silva's a perfect guy for a guy like Manel Kape to do a painting on. You know, he's very one dimensional,
Yeah.
very power striker. I think he's like 5'3" compared to like Manel Kape, who might be like 5'5" or 5'4" or something like that. It's like I'm not any of those. I throw kicks, I throw knees, I throw elbows. I'm not 5'3". I'm fucking a whopping 6'3", you know. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, and then also I'm just a lot faster than Bruno Silva, a lot longer. I
Yeah.
find we're just completely different. So it's like, as far as like things that I could take away is just, you know, I could be a fan of him. Like I was like that, like he did some cool stuff. He does some stuff that I like doing. But he did a lot of stuff that it's like, okay, that worked on Bruno Silva, that wouldn't work on me.
Yeah.
And, and I don't know much about Bruno Silva, but I could tell you that I fought everybody that I have a win against is way better than Bruno Silva. Everybody I have a loss against is way better than Bruno Silva. Anybody I've ever fought in the UFC is better than Bruno Silva. So it's like I don't really take account into someone that's I don't even know if he's in the top 15 if I'm being honest.
Also, just obviously everything goes according to plan against Cape, and you get the win. What's the plan for the rest of 2025? Like, how active do you want to be?
Oh, and we super active. I say this every year. Is just I want as many fights as possible. It's just when you get to the top five of the division, things change a little bit. Of like,
Yeah.
okay, do I wait for a title shot or do I take this fight? And it's like things get super weird because then it's like if I wait for a title shot, I get a title shot. That's $1 million fight versus a couple $100,000 fight, so it's worth the wait. Where it's like if I go fight Joe Schmo or whoever in the back, then it's like it does less for my career and I also make less money doing it. So things kind of like switch up. But it's like I don't know, man. I'm really into the idea of taking short notice fights at 35. I'm really into the idea of just stepping up at 35 a little bit and also it's just like I want to fight for that belt. So it's like I go out there and take out Manel Kape. I think there's no reason I shouldn't be fighting for that belt next either.
I appreciate you taking the time, man. Honestly.
Yeah, you too, bro. Thank you.